accidentally became the manager at Walmart, and I don't even work there. It started with one terrible decision. I walked into Walmart wearing a bright blue polo shirt and khaki pants, basically the unofficial employee uniform. At first, I didn't notice anything weird. I grabbed a cart, headed toward electronics, and started looking for batteries. Then this guy walks straight up to me holding a giant TV remote and says, "Hey man, where are the extra 65-inch TVs? Now, I could have simply said, "Sorry, I don't work here." But for some reason my brain panicked, and before I even realized what I was doing, I pointed toward the back wall and confidently said, "Check the overstock grid, Kevin." His name was absolutely not Kevin, but the craziest part, he nodded like I was the wisest man alive and sprinted away. And I'm not going to lie. That tiny moment of fake authority changed me, because 2 minutes later, an actual employee walked up holding a walkie-talkie and said, "Manager on duty needs you in automotive." That was my chance to stop this entire situation. Instead, I took the walkie-talkie. I clipped it onto my belt like I'd been working there for 20 years, pressed the button, and said, "Copy that. I'm en route." I don't know who I thought I was in that moment. Batman, regional supervisor, Walmart Avengers, but suddenly everyone started treating me like I belonged there. I speed-walked through the store like I owned the place. A customer stopped me asking if we price-matched mountain bikes from another store. I looked at the bike, looked at him, then said, "We'll make it happen." I had absolutely zero authority to say that, but the customer nearly cried tears of joy. Then 2 employees approached me asking if they could switch shifts for Friday, and somehow I responded with, "As long as coverage stays optimized." What does that even mean? But they nodded like I was a business genius. At this point, I was fully committed to the role. I started carrying a clipboard I found abandoned near customer service. I walked into the deli department and gave an inspirational speech about teamwork, efficiency, and something I called customer synergy. I literally made that phrase up on the spot. And the terrifying part? They were listening. One guy looked emotional. Another employee whispered, "This is the best leadership we've had in months." That's when the fake power completely went to my head. I started walking faster, talking louder, using phrases like, "Let's circle back on that," and "We need solutions, people." I didn't even know what problems we were solving. For 45 straight minutes, I accidentally lived an entirely different life. Then it all collapsed. Store security walked past me, stopped, looked me up and down, and said, "Hey, where's your name tag?" The second he said that, my soul left my body. I looked down at the clipboard in my hand. The walkie-talkie on my belt crackled. Somebody over the radio yelled, "Manager needed in grocery." I panicked, dropped the clipboard into a giant bin of throw pillows, turned around, and ran. I sprinted through seasonal decor like I had a 5-star wanted level. People were staring. A kid yelled, "The manager is escaping." I almost slipped near the garden section doors, but somehow made it outside and dove into my car like I was fleeing a crime scene. I sat there breathing hard for a full minute before realizing something horrifying. The walkie-talkie was still clipped to my belt. I accidentally stole Walmart property, and then, right as I was staring at it in shock, the radio crackled again, and a voice said, "Manager to aisle 12 immediately." I froze, because for one dangerous second, I actually considered going back in. If you're new here and want more crazy stories like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, this story somehow gets even more insane. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video.